Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us in the President-Student Town Hall. My name is Corbin Coase, and I am the Student Government Association President of the Chesapeake campus. Our responsibility as SGA leaders is to be the voice of Tidewater Community College students and engage with college administration in collaborative communication regarding their needs. I would like to take this time to thank the college for allowing the SGA to be a part of this process on behalf of our amazing student body. The goal of today's Student Town Hall is to share plans for fall reopening and answering the questions from current and incoming students. I would like to thank all of our students for the questions and comments they have submitted to us. At this time, I have the distinct honor of welcoming the president of Tidewater Community College, Dr. Conston.
Thank you very much, Corbin, and good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, students. I am so happy that you all have decided to tune in this afternoon for our town hall. I look forward to engaging with you during this time as we talk about our reopening plan for the fall semester. I want you to know that we have spent most of our summer preparing the college for your return. And I know that primarily it will be by way of remote learning, but we're excited that you're coming to us or coming back to us by way of remote learning. And in some cases, there will be in-person classes. So the campuses are prepared to receive you. We are excited to receive you back. And we look forward to, I personally look forward to the opportunity to chat with you all at each of the campuses and in Zoom sessions and just in multiple ways throughout this academic year. So again, welcome to this town hall. I am joined this afternoon by members of the President's Cabinet. Actually, all of us are on the Zoom call just to be able to respond to any questions that you have or just provide any information that you will need as you make your way back to the college on remote learning or from time to time needing to come for any type of service here at the college. I am joined by the Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Karen Campbell, the Vice President for Instruction, or Assistant to the Vice President for Academic Affairs representing instruction, Dr. Michael Summers, the Interim Vice President for Finance, who will also talk to you a little bit about financial aid and scholarships, and that's Ms. Heather McCrae, Mr. Matt Baumgarten, who serves over our facilities areas, and he's going to give you an update on all of the things that we've done to make the campuses ready for your return. And also Mr. Kurt Asen from Technology is online, as well as you will hear from Ms. Marian Annafurin, who will talk about the website and things that we have posted out there and other means of social media. And so everyone is here just to speak to any concerns or questions that you will have. At this time, I'm going to turn the conversation over to Dr. Karen Campbell. But before I do that, students, I also want you to know that we have received several questions from you. And after each of the cabinet members speak, if they haven't addressed you fully, I want you to know that we will engage in some of your questions. Corbin has them, and we will certainly do our best this afternoon to respond. As long as we have time, we will address your questions. So now we will hear from Dr. Karen Campbell.
Thank you, Dr. Conston, and good afternoon, students. I want to take this opportunity to share with you how we have prepared the campuses for your return. And so I have a brief PowerPoint presentation that I want to share with you that you can follow along with me. So what I want you to know is that as of August the 3rd, we actually have opened our campuses to you. And so if there's anyone who needs access to technology or perhaps assistance with the enrollment process, or you need to drop off documents, please feel free to drop by one of the campuses for assistance. Also, as you know, classes start on Monday, August 24th. We are excited that you will be joining us, and the campuses will be open to those students who have face-to-face instruction sometime during the fall semester. I want you to know a couple of things before you return to the campus though. You should watch the COVID-19 orientation video, which is located on our website. I'm sure VP Anderferen will share this information with you. I will not play it for you today, but take the time to go to the website, play the COVID-19 safety video so you're prepared to return to the college. Also, complete a health self-check. I will talk with you a little bit more about what does that mean, and please be prepared to wear a face covering. So your health self-check should be the following. Ask yourself, have you had any signs or symptoms associated with COVID-19? If you have, please seek medical attention immediately and self-quarantine while you are speaking with your medical provider. We do not want you to come to class sick or stay if you are sick, regardless of symptoms. Please stay home and keep yourself safe. Make sure you contact your instructor so that he or she is aware and can make any instructional accommodations necessary for you. We also want you to be prepared to wear face coverings because they are required to be on the campus. Of course, there are certain circumstances where TCC may grant an exception to wearing a face covering, and this includes a student who perhaps has a health condition. But if this is you, please make sure that you complete the new student intake form if you're a new student and submit it to the Office of Educational Accessibility. If you are already a current student and you have registered with the Office of Educational Accessibility, please reach out to your EA counselor. Please know that we have added an addendum to the Student Code of Conduct to support enforcing students wearing face coverings. So if you refuse to wear one, you will be referred to the Dean of Student Life and Student Conduct, because this would now be found in, and perhaps you would be found in violation of this conduct and subject to disciplinary action. We want to make sure you wear your face mask correctly. Of course, wash your hands before putting it on, put it over your nose and your mouth, and secure it under your chin to make sure that it is fit snugly. But of course, we want to make sure that you can breathe. Once you're on the campus, what will happen is you will sign in and wear a face covering. Oh, okay, wear a face covering. Testing services will be available to you by appointment only. And while you're on the campus, we have additional support services available to you. They are listed here. Currently, our hours of operation are Monday and Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Wednesday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. These hours will change as we progress. As of August 17th, we will offer additional hours to students needing assistance. I want you to know that the ID card offices are available to you as well. They are in temporary locations in the main buildings on the campuses. Please note them here, but this information is also available to you on our website. We also have libraries that are available to you. Their current hours of operation are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. If you need to go to the library, you may certainly do so. These hours will of course change after classes begin on August the 24th. Buildings are open, as I have already indicated. Typically, it's one building on each of the campuses that's open for student support services. It is the main entrance. There will be one entrance that is available to you as a student. The entrances are listed here, but again, you can find this information on our website. I just want to make you aware of the entrances. This is what they look like. This, of course, is not all 4 campuses. I just want you to be aware of the entrances that are available here at Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, but of course, Norfolk and Portsmouth entrances are available as well. When you enter the campus, there will be a security station there to make sure that you sign in and that you have on your face covering. And what will happen is you will see these signs. There will be signage throughout the building to help you practice social distancing, as well as make sure that you have sanitized your hands before you actually sign in. This is the Norfolk campus. This is the Portsmouth campus. And again, I'm just showing you some pictures as examples. All campuses have signage, check-in, and security support. Once you're on the campus, you should, of course, practice social distancing. This is an example of social distancing on the campus when you check into the stations. And then, of course, in order to support students who need to drop off documentation, we have drop boxes available to these students. And so they are located outside of the main entrances of the buildings. You can see some examples here for Portsmouth and for Virginia Beach as well. Before I turn the town hall over to Dr. Summers, I just want to summarize what some takeaways for you. To help minimize the spread of COVID-19, face coverings and physical distancing are required in all TCC facilities. And because your health and safety are our highest priority, we want to encourage you to keep using virtual resources as you prepare for your fall classes. Students returning to the campus must sign in. So you review the health condition assessment and then you will sign in. If you need to provide documents, as I stated, you can definitely leave them in the drop boxes outside of each main entrance. And as a college, we will continue to work together to create an environment that is caring, friendly, and safe. I will now turn the presentation over to Dr. Summers.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. We had a number of questions about safety protocols for classes that'll be on campus, questions about labs on campus, and some very specific questions about the HESI testing for nursing, faculty office hours, and even a question about Chemistry 101. But let me start by saying that 4 principles have guided our extensive planning for the fall semester. The first and foremost is safety, safety of the students, safety of our faculty, and safety of our staff. The second one, quality instruction. Whatever we do, it has to maintain the academic integrity of this institution. So you are successful when you transition to a 4-year institution or you go out into the world of work. The third principle, procedures and protocols. People need to know what to do and how we will operate to help ensure their wellness and safety. And the last principle is communication. We must let people know what we are doing. With all that said, this fall semester TCC will offer a little under 3,300 individual courses. And of those, 86% or 2,800 will be delivered completely online. But you know, some things cannot be completely taught online. For example, there's some transfer level chemistry, nursing, all of the health professions except for health information management, welding, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, CPR, automotive, diesel, art classes, engineering, electronics, veterinary services, horticulture, and the list goes on and on. These are courses that simply have to have some face-to-face activity. So for this fall, we are offering a total of 443 sections that will have an on-campus component of some sort. For some classes, that may just be a couple of sessions. For others, it may mean sessions throughout the semester. But this represents only about 14% of all the courses we're offering. But I should note that for these 443 sessions, all of their on-campus work will be done when we close for Thanksgiving break at the end of the day on November 24th. The sections that have on-campus instruction are noted in the class schedule. You will see those courses with days, times, and locations. So you know that there'll be an on-campus session. Plus, there are notes that are associated with those courses. And of course, once you sign up for the class, the Canvas course shell, the course syllabus, and the faculty will be giving you more details about those on-campus sessions. Now, let me shift to some direct responses to the questions about biology labs. We had a couple of those. The fact is that of the 139 biology courses we're offering in the fall, none of them require any on-campus labs. Our faculty have been amazing in that they've been able to utilize technology, Zoom sessions to deliver all of those labs completely off the campus. Now, some of those have real-time sessions. We use a fancy word called synchronous sessions, and those are noted. And that means an online class may require you to log in on a certain date and time, And all of that information is shared with students, and it's noted on the class schedule. Questions about safety protocols. This fall semester, we will have 90 of our 490 rooms being used for some on-campus sessions. Not all the buildings will have these sessions. The spaces used have been set up to ensure social distancing where possible, and the lab sizes will be 50% or smaller than the normal capacity. In no space will we ever have more than 18 students. In fact, most all of the spaces will only have 12 students or less. We spent a great deal of time measuring and moving furniture and removing furniture and putting up signs and making sure that everybody knows where they're supposed to be so they all can be safe in these learning environments. There'll also be disinfecting materials and wipes in every one of these lab sessions. And we understand that all students don't like online learning, and to try to help our students, our faculty have been really amazing in trying to incorporate real-time Zoom sessions into online courses, so there's more of a direct interaction with faculty. And when you look at classes, pay attention to those that illustrate days and times, because those would be synchronous sessions, and we really think that students will benefit from them. At the end of the day, it's a balancing act, protecting your safety, our faculty's safety, but still finding a way to move your college education forward. And I think we're finding a good balance here. Finally, let me respond to a couple of the specific questions. We had one from a nursing student who asked about the HESI exam. Can they take that remotely? And the answer is yes. It's all spelled out on the nursing website. You can go there, you can sign up for that exam, pay for it, and then our testing center, you contact them, they will give you the link, and you can take that entrance exam completely online. Somebody asked about faculty office hours. How's that going to work? Well, we got several choices. Some faculty are perfectly comfortable having a Zoom session with you. All of them will answer their phone and answer their emails. So whatever sort of technology interaction you want to use, your faculty member will contact you and interact with you using those kinds of strategies. Chemistry 101, that was an interesting one. The question was, why do we only have one section of Chemistry 101? Well, first of all, it's a brand new course, and that course doesn't require anybody to come on campus for a lab. Well, we've got a total of 78 sections of chemistry out there in the fall schedule. Of those, 40 of them are not requiring students to come on campus. We found a vendor that will provide these online kits. But the vendor was so overrun with requests that we could only get a certain number of these online kits. So we have maximized the number of online sections using these kits, and that's why we couldn't have any more Chemistry 101s. The vendor does say that he will have an unlimited supply, and we expect the spring schedule will have multiple sections of Chemistry 101. But we had to use the kits or the other chemistry classes that don't require coming to campus. And the last question that was directed toward academic affairs was, if the world gets better all of a sudden, will we shift the fall semester back to normal face-to-face classes? I sure wish that would happen, but I really don't think it's going to. So I believe we've got a good plan for the fall semester. We're not going to see us shifting to a face-to-face semester, even though wouldn't that be a great problem to have? So we're gonna go forward with our plan right now. So I think I've hit all those questions. I think I'm ready now to turn it over to Ms. Heather McCrae, the college's Chief Financial Officer. Heather, take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Summers. Good afternoon, everyone. I am going to be speaking to you today about business offices, financial aid offices, and I'm going to touch on scholarships. Let's see. Students are encouraged to pay for tuition and fees online, as you did for the summer semester, using the SIS system with a major credit card being a MasterCard, a Visa, or an American Express card, or students may use a bank draft to pay online for your tuition and fees. Students are also encouraged to use the Business Office document submission portal to submit documents to the Business Office where possible, and that will require the use of your MyTCC login credentials. Students who need to interact with the business offices on campus should expect to be served using virtual services where possible and in-person services through the cashier's windows when necessary. Business office hours will follow the normal student services hours and may be found on the college's website. Each of the business offices has a separate email address should you have a need to email the office before coming into campus or have a question that needs to be answered. And that also can be found on the college's website. For financial aid, students may receive financial aid support virtually from home if you desire. Students are encouraged to also use the financial aid document submission portal online to submit documents to the financial aid office, and that will also require your use of your MyTCC login credentials. Students who need to interact with the financial aid department on campus will also expect to be served using virtual services where possible. However, during the virtual session, if it is deemed that a student needs in-person interaction, if needed, students will be directed by the virtual financial aid person of where to meet a financial aid staff member. All in-person interactions must take place using social distancing measures. Financial aid offices will also follow the student services offices and may be found on the website. Each financial aid office also has a specific email address which can be used to interact with financial aid staff at any time. The college has many scholarship opportunities that are available for TCC students. Each scholarship may have its own criteria and deadlines that should be reviewed for applicability. Criteria may include GPA requirements, earnings requirements, etc., or specific fields of study. More information can be found about scholarships on the TCC website. Examples of scholarships available at TCC include the Education Foundation, which has over 20 scholarships available. There are 15 scholarships available to military members, veterans, and dependents. There are over 25 scholarships also available from other third-party organizations. There are also scholarships available for recent high school graduates. And more scholarships are being added as they become available. So please check our website as you can. Now I'll turn it over to my colleague, Matt Baumgarten, Executive Director of the Real Estate Foundation and Facilities Management.
Thank you, Heather. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to talk to you today about the safe building environment. Over the summer, the facilities department has been working very hard to prepare the buildings for the return of both faculty and students into the spaces. Severe deep cleaning has occurred in each of these buildings and continues to happen on a weekly basis. So as was discussed earlier, you will notice there'll be one entrance per building on the campus. So as even at the Virginia Beach campus where you have multiple entrances, we are limiting it to one so we can control the environment and who's coming in. So once you're in, you'll notice that staircases have been signed so that they are one way. So you'll find one staircase that will allow you to go up and one staircase to allow you to come down. That is to help encourage social distancing. The elevators as well have been posted with signs that will tell you the maximum number of riders for that elevator. And the sign also encourages you to ask anybody that's on there already, do you mind if I get on? Some people, everyone has a little different opinion. So please take note of those signs and follow those directions. Our HVAC systems are adjusted to bring in the maximum amount of outside fresh air that the equipment can handle. This is to help provide a healthier, safe building environment. Continuous touch point cleaning will occur during the day by our custodial staff. You'll see them walking around. Please say hello. The bathrooms, the break rooms, they will be cleaned a minimum of 3 times per day. Cleaning and sanitizing supplies have been provided to all learning spaces and all the offices around the college. And we've invested in backpack sanitizing systems, like blowers, foggers, and we've even invested in some whole room fogging systems as well. So we've been hard at work, and we've invested a lot. And for your safety, the buildings are ready for you, and they will be ready every day that you come back to school. And so we're looking forward to seeing you. And I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague, Marian Andefer, and she's the Vice President for Marketing and Communications.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes this afternoon just to kind of go over with you. You've heard a lot of words so far, and I want to kind of show you where to find those resources on tcc.edu. So I'm going to share my screen and go to the website. So when you come to tcc.edu/students, which is the student landing page, you'll see this button, Return to Campus, and what we're doing. You can also get to this information by going tcc.edu/coronavirus. So I just wanted, there's a whole box of resources here. I just wanted to go through them really quickly. This what TCC is doing covers what Mr. Baumgarten just went over, what we're doing to maintain safety. This is how you get a face mask exemption if you need it. This is the daily self-help, the check. And these are a list of community resources if you need them. This is a very trying time for so many people that you might need, might find some help you're looking for there. This page, Fall 2020, simply has some preliminary information about fall, start of classes, how to search for classes in the class search tool, and what it means if a course is synchronous, asynchronous, hybrid. Dr. Summers went over some of that, but that's where, this is where you can find that information. We also, Dr. Campbell mentioned students can come back on campus starting August 3rd. Starting August 3rd, you could come back on campus for in-person help. This page tells you where to go, what the hours are, what services you can obtain, tells you where the drop boxes are, and has all of those details in it. There's a fall 20, that's the same one. That's the one I want. There's a campus information for fall. This is aimed at students who are coming back on campus for labs or in-person instruction. There's the video that Dr. Campbell mentioned, the COVID safety video. And this has a summary of what to expect when you come to campus. You know, you're gonna, perform your self-health check before you come to campus. You're gonna sign in. You are going to attest to your health status. You are going to wear a face covering. So all this information is here. So, if you've heard a lot of information, but if you need to go back and review it, here it is. Here are some options for you if you need some internet access. And also we wanted to point out the computer, so there are computer labs on each campus that are now open to help students with technology access. And finally, and this is where I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Kurt Asen, what do you need in the way of technology to take online courses? And this page reviews what you need in terms of a computer, an audio source, a webcam, how to get a computer if you need it, how to get internet access if you need it. So I invite you to come back to these pages frequently. We update them with FAQs as things come up. I also want to show, let you know that our complete reopening plan is right here, linked in this gold bar. I want to encourage you to sign up for TCC alerts. So you can get the latest news on what's happening at the college. And also, if you're not already following us on social media, Our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, TCCVA, are another good source of information. So now over to Kurt Asen, Vice President for Informational Services and Institutional Effectiveness.
Thank you, VP Anderfuren. I want to highlight just a couple of points. VP Anderfuren mentioned a couple of them. There will be an open computer lab designated on each campus, which will provide access to the internet, Canvas, and important software. In addition, Wi-Fi is available in every building and outside between most campus buildings. In addition, there are designated parking spots where Wi-Fi can be accessed from your car. Resetting passwords is sometimes needed. Information on password resets that you can do on your own can be found on the TCC website by accessing the My TCC portal or the Help Center webpage. If you need personal assistance with resetting your password, you can call the TCC Information Center at 822-1122. This phone number is available on the TCC website by going to the Help Center. Again, the Information Center phone number is 822-1122. I will now pass it back to Dr. Conston for response to questions as time permits.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asen, and thank all of you for providing such detailed information to our students. And students, I hope that you have found this information very helpful. And as the vice presidents have said, please visit the websites because we have put an infinite amount of information out to hopefully answer all of your questions or any concerns that you may have. And I also want to just say a word to Corbin. He's doing such a great job, and we're so happy to have you be a part of this town hall today. So thank you so much, Corbin, for what you're doing. We have received some questions from students, and in just a second, we will open the room up to respond to some of the questions that Corbin may wish to engage us in. But I want to just let all of the students know that this session is being recorded. So you will have an opportunity to go back and listen to it again if you choose. But we will also communicate by way of social media so that other students who may not have had the opportunity to tune in live with us today will be able to see and hear what has been discussed today. So just so that you will know, it will be, it is being recorded, and we will communicate by way of social media that other students will see it. So now, Corbin, I will turn the room over to you to see if you have questions that you've received that you would like to direct back to me, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Dr. Constant. I really appreciate it. So the first question we have is about waiting list for instruction courses. And the student asked, is there a wait list for courses, especially sciences, that are limited enrollment due to supplies?
Okay, that was a great question. And we know that students have an interest in wait lists. Dr. Summers is on the line in the room. So I will ask him if you will respond to that question, please, Dr. Summers.
Sure thing. Happy to. The wait list function in our student scheduling system is very complicated. Years ago, we looked at possibly turning that system on and found that there was just a lot of issues with activating that system. So rather than do that, what we have encouraged students to do is to repeatedly check class availability on a regular basis. The problem with the waiting list is students will put themselves on several sections of the same course, Corbin, and then what that does is they essentially take up a seat multiple times. And then if we activated it, the system doesn't know which of those multiple courses should they be placed in. So that's just one example of the complexity of it. So what we've encouraged our students, and I think what all our counselors and advisors do, is just say, you got to be patient, you got to be tenacious. We know those science courses fill up, but we also know a lot of students enroll in them, and then for whatever reason, they end up dropping. So we just encourage you to continue to check those courses, and as seats become available, you can get a slot in those courses. Good question.
All right, well, thank you for that clarification. Our next student question is about successful online learning. And the student asks, students share concerns about successful online learning. What resources are available to help students be academically successful?
That's another great question, and I appreciate the students being focused on successful learning online. I know that the college has done a lot to prepare students in the area of learning online, and I want to ask Dr. Karen Campbell if you would speak specifically about some of the things that we're doing to ensure that students will have a successful online experience.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Conston. So for the students who need assistance with online learning, we actually do have sessions that you can attend. So virtual information sessions that you can sign up for if you have not experienced online learning, or if you need additional assistance with online learning, you can certainly schedule a time to attend one of those sessions. We also have orientation sessions that are located within your Canvas shell. So you could go through you can go into your Canvas shell of the course that you're taking and make sure you take the orientation session, which will give you great tips for being a successful online learner. We also have our instructors, our faculty, who are willing to assist students through the learning process. And so if they're in a course and they're finding that they're having some challenges, please inform your instructor of the challenges that you're experiencing, because I know that they will assist you through the process as well. We want to make sure that you're successful. We've made sure that we have sessions available to assist you. So please reach out to us if you feel like you have any challenges as it relates to remote learning. Thank you. Great question.
All right, thank you for that clarification. And our next question is about remote learning for the 2021 semester. They ask, will spring 2021 be remote as well?
Well, that is an excellent question, and I wish that we had the answer for you, students. At this point, we are working through the fall semester, and hopefully we will have a successful fall semester with our classes being offered remotely for the most part. And we will just have to see how the virus continues and what goes on throughout the remainder of the year. But I will assure you that once we make a decision, we will inform the entire student population well in advance. At this point, we just cannot say for sure. We are planning that possibly we will be remote in the spring, but we're just not sure at this point, because there is too much uncertainty centered around the virus. And as students are staying abreast of what's going on in the news media, as you know, there's a great deal of concern about how the virus may impact us during the flu season. So we just really cannot make any prediction as to what our courses will look like going in the spring. I will also say, though, that we are planning, as we did for the spring term in May, our commencement. We are planning now for a December commencement that will be remote. So for any students who are expecting to complete their program of studies and participate in the December commencement, just look forward to engaging by way of remote form as we did this past May. So in terms of class offerings for the spring, that's to be determined, and we will certainly let you know well ahead of time.
All right, thank you for that clarification, Dr. Constant. I know that that's a huge question among our student populace right now. But we've had some questions submitted via live chat. So I'm just gonna go through a few of them here. And we have somebody asking about instructor contact with the students. And the person asked, will the instructors be contacting the students to let them know if the classes they are in are online or in person?
So I'm going to ask Dr. Summers if you have any comments around that question for the student.
Sure. Every single section that has any face-to-face portion, that faculty member is reaching out to everybody that's enrolled in that class. Most of the students should know if the class is all online or not. All the section codes, Corbin, begin with a letter. O means it's online. H means it's hybrid, which means there's some online and some face-to-face. So that's a clue right there. But the answer is yes. Every single course that requires any on-campus activity, those students will be notified. If the students have questions, all they got to do is call someone in student services. Everyone in student services understands how the schedule reads and would be happy to help them and clarify whether their courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face, okay?
All right, thank you for that clarification as well. The next student asks about facilities. And the student asks, how often will facilities offered to students such as libraries, virtual centers, public use computers, and computer labs, how regularly will they be cleaned?
Okay. Well, I will tell you, students, the facility staff has done an excellent job throughout the summer working to ensure that all of our campus spaces have been cleaned continually. And we will continue that during the semester, throughout the entire year, actually. But there has been a special emphasis on making sure that all of the restrooms and the classrooms, all of the space, labs, all of the space that touch not only our students, but also our faculty and staff have been cleaned very thoroughly. Now, in Mr. Baumgarten's comments, he did talk about the frequency with which our facilities, including our restrooms, will be cleaned. And I will ask him if he would just reiterate his comments so that students will have a clear understanding of our facilities and how clean they are and how much emphasis the college is putting on that.
Thank you, Dr. Constant. The bathrooms and break rooms, common areas like that will be cleaned at least 3 times a day. The libraries, et cetera. We've supplied cleaning and disinfecting materials to each library, to each instructional space. The instructor will be wiping down the touch points in each lab after the class is over with. And of course, we have the ability to always go in and do the sanitized fogging if requested or needed either way. So it's going to be a all hands on deck time, not nonstop cleaning. So we're there and ready for it.
All right, thank you for that clarification. We are now down to the last few minutes or so of our time. At this time, I would like to again thank the students who submitted their questions and extend my gratitude to Dr. Constant and the rest of the institution for the privilege to be a part of this experience with you all today. I will now turn it over to President Constant for closing remarks. Dr. Constant.
Thank you again, Corbin. And again, you are just an outstanding young man. And I will say that while you extended a privilege to us, it is also a privilege for us to have the opportunity to sit before the students and just let you know how concerned we are about not only your education, of course that's primary, but certainly also we're concerned for your health and safety. So we've taken this very seriously and had many hours of thinking and talking and just rethinking to ensure that we're providing the most safe and comfortable environment for all of our students our faculty, and our staff. So we want you to know that we are here to serve you. And we're just going to continue to work through things as the virus continues to unfold. And one of the things that we realize is that this is a dynamic situation here. We have an excellent reopening plan for the fall, but as we know, things may change. We may have to shut down completely at some point. We are hoping that that doesn't happen, but I want the students to know that if that does happen, we are ready to take those steps because your safety and security comes before anything else. So I just want to, again, thank all of you for tuning in. And just to remind the students of one thing in particular, those of you who may be listening and have not secured your classes, please secure your classes. It is important that you may have signed up, but you have not completely secured your classes financially. I want to encourage you to do that so that we can make space available for all of those students who are trying to get in those lab and biology courses, but then students have not secured yet. So move forward with that process. And I also want to encourage those students who have not looked at financial aid opportunities, specifically scholarship opportunities. I want to encourage you to do so. You heard from the Vice President for Finance, and she was very detailed about the types of scholarships that the college has to offer. So pursue those opportunities, students. I'm encouraging you to pursue those opportunities for scholarships and to secure your classes. Again, thank you, Corbin. You're outstanding. I look forward to getting over to the Chesapeake campus to see you soon, sometime very soon. And just for all that you do for the leadership that you provide, not only to the Chesapeake campus, but to the student population at all of our campuses. Thank you so much. And with that, I think we will prepare to sign off. Before I go, I just want to thank students. I want you to know that TCC has the best leadership, the most outstanding president's cabinet that I've ever had the privilege to work with. We have some outstanding vice presidents and others, executive directors and associate vice presidents and deans who are here to serve you, to meet your needs. So thank you, cabinet members, for taking the time today. And we will see you next time. Thanks again.